She returned in the morning, hair undone, eyes too bright, clothes smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't hers. The door clicked shut behind her with the quiet confidence of someone who believed she still owned the room she walked into. For a moment she stood there, arms crossed, chin raised, a rehearsed defiance. "I'm an adult," she said, before I even asked a single question. "I don't need to report my whereabouts to you." The statement wasn't surprising. The timing was. It was the calmness in her voice that shifted something inside me. Not anger, not fear, just a quiet rearranging of expectations, as if she'd given me permission to detach. I looked at her, really looked. The smudged eyeliner, the forced stillness, the way her fingers twitched at her sides, as if itching to hide something she couldn't anymore. She waited for me to break. I didn't. "Fair enough," I said. 2 words, even tone, no tremor. Her shoulders loosened just slightly, as if she believed she'd won whatever silent argument she thought we were having. That's when I set my phone on the table, face up, volume off, the screen still glowing with the frozen frame of an Instagram story I'd watched at dawn, long before she walked in. The image of her friend at a 5-star resort pool. The glittering water, the music, the unfamiliar men in the background, and her, my fiancée, tagged in the corner, smiling in a way she never smiled at home. I didn't press play, I didn't say a word. I only watched her, waited. And when her eyes finally drifted down to the screen, everything inside her stopped. That was the first crack, the quiet one, the one that tells you the truth is already heavier than the lie built to hide it. The real betrayal wasn't the resort, it was the certainty. I remember standing there, observing her as she scrambled for an explanation that didn't exist. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again, like she was trying to swallow the evidence along with her excuses. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered. Of course it wasn't. Nothing ever is when you've already been caught. But I didn't respond. I didn't need to. My mind drifted backward, replaying her birthday night, the unanswered calls, the messages read but ignored, the vague with friends text sent at midnight then followed by radio silence. I had given her space, more than she thought. It was the small things that unsettled me. The dress she changed into before leaving, too formal for just dinner. The sudden switch of perfume. The way she held her phone tighter than her purse. Tiny inconsistencies, barely noticeable unless you were paying attention. I always pay attention. And now, watching her flinch at the frozen image on my screen, I realized something quietly devastating. She wasn't sorry for what she'd done. She was sorry because she'd been seen. That realization didn't make me angry. It made everything clear. Suspicion didn't need confirmation that night, but it would get it soon. I didn't confront her that morning. I let her speak, stutter, contradict herself. I let her pace the living room, toss out half-truths, then retreat into nervous silence. I watched everything, her hands, her eyes, her breathing. She thought my calmness meant forgiveness. She misunderstood. I had already begun my own quiet investigation. Phone records, timeline checks, receipts she'd forgotten existed, location history she assumed I never cared about. I moved slowly, methodically, without emotion, the kind of stillness that unnerved even me. Every detail added weight to the truth. Every discrepancy sharpened the edges of reality. I wasn't searching for drama. I wanted facts. She noticed my silence over the next few days. Not suspicion, fear. She grew cautious, over-gentle, over-attentive, as if she sensed a shift but couldn't find its source. I didn't blame her. That kind of silence carries its own gravity. It pulls the truth out like a tide, exposing what's been buried under waves of excuses. By the end of the week, the story I'd pieced together was no longer a question. It was a verdict. Still, I said nothing. Not until the final piece arrived. The last confirmation came on a Wednesday afternoon. A forwarded copy of the resort booking, her name, her friend's name, 2 additional guests marked simply as companions. The timestamp matched the night she vanished. When she got home that evening, I was sitting at the dining table. The document lay in front of me, untouched, unthreatening, just another piece of paper waiting for someone to read it. She froze in the doorway. "Can we talk?" she asked, voice barely stable. I gestured to the chair opposite me. No anger, no raised voice, just quiet certainty. She sat down slowly, eyes darting between me and the paper. "What is this?" her voice cracked. "You tell me," I said. It was the gentlest sentence I'd spoken in days, yet it hit harder than shouting ever could. She unfolded the paper with trembling hands. Her expression collapsed in on itself as she read. There were no dramatic tears, no heartfelt confessions, just a long, silent unraveling. She looked at me with something close to desperation. "I didn't mean for—" "I know," I cut in calmly. The truth didn't need elaboration, only acknowledgement. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't accuse. I simply slid my phone across the table again, this time with the play button already pressed. Her friend's Instagram story began to loop. Music, laughter, poolside shadows. Her face appearing, bright and unmistakably comfortable. She covered her mouth as if she could hold back the reality seeping out of it. "You were never supposed to see that," she whispered. "That," I said quietly, "is the problem." Her eyes filled, not with remorse, but with the terrifying understanding